Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in our previous video, we have enriched our data, we have merged all these sales, like sales for 2021, 2022 and 2020. So we have merged all these sales into the single sales, and then we have used the blank query, and then we have created a separate table for these dates, and then we have used the web query for importing a data by the link, okay, from the website, okay. So we have done with all these data enrichment, and then also in previous video we have created a relationship for this model, and then we are done with this data modeling. So now we can directly go forward for the visualization, okay, which we have left on the previous videos, okay. So in this video we are going to dive into the calculations in the Power BI, okay. So there are over various option, various option for the calculation. So mostly we will use measure and calculated columns. So these two options will be used for any creating any kind of calculation columns, or it may be like a custom column, okay. So let me go through what are all the options and how we can use those calculations in our report, okay. So let me just go for the transform data, because if you are going to edit your data, either if you need to add any custom data for this, or it may be calculated data, you need to go for the Power Query editor. So then you can be able to edit, or you may need to create any new calculation for your report, okay. So let me just refresh all, because my data it is 2 days old, so I need to refresh it sometime. If you are not refreshed, if you just click this cross button, this pop-up window will view for several times while you are doing this report, okay. Okay, so now I think you guys can have an idea what we have done for these categories on the other queries. We have disabled the load, okay, you can able to see in the previous videos. So if you don't watch the previous video, you can go and watch that, so you will have some better idea what we are going to do in this video, okay. So now if I go for the sales, okay, you can see here yeah, order ID, product ID, location ID, salesperson ID, and for the sales we just have the quantity and the price, okay. We don't have the exact the sales amount for the particular customer ID or for the particular product ID, okay. So here we just have the quantity as a 4 and price as 1848, okay. So if we need to know the sales for this particular customer ID, or it may be the salesperson ID, you need to multiply the 4 with this value, so then you can able to find the sales, okay. So the sales for the particular salesperson ID or for the location ID, okay. So for this, we are going to create an additional column here, which is known as custom column. So we are going to create some formulas for that, and then we are going to add a one more column on this table, which is nothing but the sales column. In that, here you can see the 4 times the price is equal to this entire sales of this customer ID. Okay, so we need to create that column here. So for that, let me go for the add column option, and then go for the custom column, okay. So like I said before, there will be two options for creating a calculated columns into the Power BI, okay. So the one is measures, and the next one is this custom column, which is also known as calculated column. So for this custom column, we just want to use a normal programming, it's not a normal programming, it's like a basic programming, okay. If you need to multiply the order with sales, order with the quantity, you can just type price here, and then just we want to multiply it with the quantity, okay. So it will be the normal programming code. If you go for the measure, it will be somewhat advanced. So in this custom column we will use a normal basic programming here, which is we have learned, right, Python, C, C++. So the normal basic code will be typed here if you are going to create a custom column. But if you go for the measure, we will use entire DAX function for that, okay. This measure can be created only by using a DAX function, okay. So let me just create a column by using this calculated column, okay. So then we can able to see the visualization, and then let's create another column for the measure table, and then we will see what is the difference between this custom column and the measure column. Okay, so at first we need to create a name for this. So this will be the total sales. Okay, so the formula will be like this is equal to like, okay, you can see the formula is incomplete here. Okay, so now here like we just want to multiply the quantity with the price. So let me just type price here. Okay, if you go on type with PR, then you can able to see the price is highlighted here. Okay, so if you directly click on this price, the price will be imported here. So there are over three ways to type or to import the column name here. Okay, here you can see the only available columns. You just have around like 8 columns here because we have selected the sale table and we have going to create a custom column inside this sales table. So we can able to access only the columns which are all inside this sales table. Okay, so let me just delete this. So we have typed our table name here and we have selected that. Okay, so this is the one way. So the next way is you can directly click on this price and you can directly click on insert. Okay, and then the other way to import a table here is that you can able to double click this, so then the price will be updated here. Okay, so we just want to multiply the price, so I'm just going on with this multiply symbol, and then you can see token literal expected. So it's nothing but like we have not completed our like a conditional column for this. Okay, so let me give the space for this and then I'm going to multiply it with the quantity. Okay, so now you can see no syntax error have been detected. So if I have forgot to put the close bracket here, as you can see, token as a close bracket is expected. Okay, so if we have created more number of like, more lines of a code here, you can be able to see like where we have done a mistake. So these line, when like if we have a mistake on this line, you can see that that is highlighted on the red color. Okay, so let me just close this and you can see the no syntax error have been detected. So I'm just going to click OK here. So then you can able to see the total sales, which is another column that is added into the sales table. Okay, so now like we have created a separate table for separate table for the sales, and then here you can see the quantity times the price is equal to the sales. If we have one here, so 1 into 1725, here you can see the same value here. So this is how the sales table has been created. Okay, so one more thing that I have to inform you, like, so if you are going to import any data from the Excel, okay, or it from the database, like while you are importing, you can see the data type here. It will be automatically like a number formatting, or it may be the text, or it may be the date format, or it may be time or country, like it is anything. Like while you are going to import the file, this Power BI will automatically select the data type based on its own default condition for that. Okay, so now here you can see we have created a custom column, but here the data type is not yet confirmed because we have created this custom column based on our own formula. So we need to set this whether this is a text or decimal number or a whole number or a percentage. Okay, so this is kind of a whole number, so I'm just going to click the whole number here. On the applied steps you can see like the source, added column and the changed type. Okay, so now you can see like we have created a separate column for the total sales by creating, sorry, by using a custom column. Okay, so then let me just close and apply this. Okay, it will take some time to load our data. Okay, okay, so now our data is loaded here. As you can see inside this sales table, we are having another like a new custom column that we have created named total sales. Okay, so now let's go for creating a visualization for this. So at first, like for this, I'm going to create, like if you are going to click any like a summation value here, like it may be a one like a whole number, right? if you are going to select any numerical value, you can see it will be directly taken as for the bar chart. Okay, so I don't want to view this on the bar chart. I'm just going on with this card value. Okay, so if you click on here, this card value as viewed here, okay, the sum of the total sales, it will automatically summarize our data. Okay, because it is summation, right? So if you go for the format, so let me just go for the display units, and I'm going to click it as none, so you can able to see the entire value here. Okay, so then our like a custom column has been created, and now we are able to visualize that in our report view. But this must be a revenue, right? So it should have some currency value here, whether it is a dollar or whether it is an Indian currency, or like it may be like anything like. So I'm just going to click on this total sales. Now you can see at the ribbon menu a column tools bar has been opened up, and here you can see the various data which are all available while we are going for the table view here. So it looks like the same. Here you can change the column name, and you can change the data type here also, and the format. And here, like I said before, if you need to add any kind of currency revenue for this, you can add. But here, yeah, but here you can see like our data will be like a US dollar. Okay, so I'm going to mention it on this dollar form. Okay, like if you mention this dollar form, it will be the format will be automatically turned as currency, and like based on your location, whether you are going to use a comma for this. So like for in Indian, like, or for in US, like they will use this comma for separating a value. And if you go for like any other country, so some, I don't know exactly, but they will use a point for this, for separating, like instead of comma they will use point. Okay, so yeah, let me just crop like this. Okay, so like we have created a card based on the custom column that we have created. So this is our first calculated columns in our report. Okay, right. So this is how we can create a custom column. Okay, so there is another way, like like I have said before, if we are going into the calculated columns, like we may have two options here. One is custom column and one is measure. Okay, so let's go for the measure. Okay, so before that, so let me explain you something like yeah, so let me create a table view for the product ID. Okay, like let me drag like this as a full view here. Okay, so this will be the product ID, and I'm going to add this total sales in this column. You can see there are some of total sales here. For the specific product ID, we can able to see, okay, so this PID 2000 as a sum of total sales of $4,32,513 here. Okay, so here you can see for all the product ID, that will be the sum of total sales here. Okay, so now if you guys like, I don't want to view this product ID, I'm going to like yeah, I'm going to use the separate table. Like I'm going to, okay, let me just delete this. Okay, at first, like I'm going to use this product name. Okay, and then like product name from this table, and the total sales from the sales table. Okay, now we have selected the different data from the different tables here. Okay, so now you can see the product name. Based on the product name, the sum of totals will be highlighted here. Okay, it will be denoted here. Okay, so now if we are going to sort these sales based on a like a ascending order or descending order, or it like if you are going to sort based on your own reference, so you may have three options to sort this. Okay, so the first one is like you can see the drop down option here. If you click that, like it will be sort out based on the like a descending order, like from higher to the lower value. If you click this again, like you can see the lower to the higher value. Okay, so this will be the option like for sorting our column, like this will be the first option. And then you can see here, you can see like the product name, you can see the sum of total sales is sorted based on the product name here. Okay, so you can also sort that by using this. Okay, like we have to click the here. Okay, okay, you can able to see here, right? So this is how you can able to format this. Okay, so the another thing, like you can able to sort this, so we can directly go for this, and you can see this is sort ascending or sort descending or sort by. If you are going to sort this based on the product name, you can click here. Okay, so here like my total sales is like we can able to view this from lower to higher, but when you go for the product name, you can see it starts by the 18, and here at the middle you can see the 9, and here you can see 16. So I think this product ID, like this product name, has been collapsed here. Okay, so what we need in this report, like we need like product 1, product 2, product 3, and product 4. Like you can able to sort this by using this. You can directly click on here, but you can see here the first value will be sorted, like you can 1 1 1 1 1 here, and then enter 2 and enter 3. So this is not a perfect sorting, right? Okay, so for sorting this entire product name, like 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, so let me go for the table view here, and then let me go for the product and go for the product name. Here you can see it is sorted correctly because it is sorted based on its own sort. If you go for the sort by column, you can see it is sorted based on the product name because it is sorted based on the Excel data which we have used. Okay, so if like you can see the product ID here, 2001, like 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, until like you may have many varies for this. Okay, if I'm going to sort this product name based on the product ID, you will able to see. Okay, now let me just, yeah, we have selected the product name, and now I'm going to sort this product name based on the product ID. If I click the product ID here, okay, so now you can see the product ID has been highlighted here. So let me go for the tab, like a report view again. Now you can see this product name column has been sorted correctly. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and like etc etc. Okay, so this is how you can able to sort these values. Okay, you can use like a custom sort for that. You can go for the table view, and you can directly click this column, and you can go for the sort by, and you can add a reference table for sorting your values. Okay, so the next thing, like, yeah, in our last previous video we have created this model relationship, right? So we have created a relationship for all these table towards the sales table. Okay, so let me just go for the report view again. Here like we have used product and the sales table, but here in this model view, like you can see the product and the sales table. But now like we can able to create a visualization between these two tables because like we have created a relationship between these two, like a product ID and to the sales, because we have made a relationship here. Okay, so you can able to see like we have made a relationship between the product ID of the product and the product ID of the sales. So then how we can able to view the total sales value as a filters. So if we have made a single relationship for this by using like instead, let me take an example of, okay, let me take an example of this product ID itself, or else let's go for the date. Okay, so here you can see only the filter is applied for the date and the ordered date. Okay, so it is not like the filters only applicable for the date and the order date. So these filters will be applicable for all the data which are all present in this date column, and for all the data which are all present in the sales column. So like when we build a relationship, like a single relationship between these two tables, we can able to add a filters for all the columns which are all available in both these. Okay, so now let me just delete this relationship. Okay, okay, now you can see there is no relationship between the product table and the sales table. Now when we go back for the report view, here you can see the sum of total sales will be the total sales, like you can see like 2.5 million, right? So here you can see, okay, sorry, 25 million, right? So here you can see the same value, 25 million, 25 million here, because like there is no relationship between the product table and the sales table, so we can't able to add a filters for these two. Okay, so this is the best example for the model view, then why we are adding a relationship for this model. Okay, so if you go for the model view here, and now I am going to drag this model like a product ID. Okay, let me just expand this, and from the product ID to this product ID, like we have made a relationship, right? If you go for the report view, you can be able to see all those values based on the product ID, because like now we have created a relationship between that. Okay, So this is how you can able to use this model views. So this is why I said this data modeling, like creating a relationship between all these tables, is very, very important while you are creating a report or a data like or a dashboard for your more advanced data. Okay, like if you are going to create any visualization for a single table, you can directly go forward with this, because we don't want to use a model view here, because like if you have two more, like more than two columns, we need to use model view, because we need to merge these two columns based on relationship. Okay, so I think you guys can able to understood about this model view and this custom column. Okay, so now let me create this same total sales like by using a measure. Okay, so now I'm going to like there will be like the same like three more ways for creating a measure. The first one is like you can see the new measure here under the calculations, and if you go for the modeling, you can also see the new measure here. Okay, and then if we need to create any new measure for a particular table here, if I need to create a measure on the sales table, I'm just going to click here, and then on the three dots, like you can see new measure here. Okay, or else on the table tools itself, you can see the new measure here. So I'm just going to click on a new measure here, because we are going to create a DAX formula for this. And then after clicking a measure, you can see a measure is highlighted with a small calculator icon. Okay, I think you guys can able to view this icon, right? So for the measure, we may have the small calculator icon, and for the summation values, like we may have the small summation single symbol here. And when we go for the dates table, okay, okay, let me just move on with this. Okay, so if you go for the dates table here, so the date is highlighted with this calendar part here, and then in our first visualization, like we have created a field map, right? Okay, so it's like a map feature for that. Okay, so for the country, we can able to see a small map, like a globe in image on this. Okay, so this is how we can able to find this easily. Okay, whether it is a summation or whether it is a date table or whether it is a measure. Okay, so I'm going to create a new measure on the sales table. So yeah, here you can see the measure tools is available here, like you can able to change the measure name here. Okay, and yeah, sorry, okay, you can able to change the measure name here. And then if you go for the format, you can also format like whether it is a sum, whether it is a whole number or it is a currency, and you can add a value for this. And then this is a home table, so because we have we are going to create a measure under this home table, like this is a sales table, right? So this sales table as named as a home table here. Like after creating this measure, we can be able to change the home table. Okay, I'll teach you later that. Okay, and then data category, whether you need to categorize it, you can able to categorize. Okay, okay, let's go for the new measure, and then you can see like a ribbon has been highlighted here, like a measure. So let me just expand this, and let me just zoom this. Okay, so now like we are going to create a measure. So let me just rename this measure as total sales measure. Okay, okay, then equal to, so now we are going to, okay, I think this is taken as a formula for this, so let me go for the measures. Okay, and now like we are going to create a DAX function for this. Okay, so let me go on with this. Okay, so now like we are going to create a measure for the price and the quantity, like we want to multiply the price to the quantity. In our custom column, like we have directly multiplied with that, like selecting a price column, and we have created a multiple here, and then we have created, like we have added the quantity table, and then we have got a new separate table for the total sales. But here like we need to type our DAX code here. Okay, so for that, like yeah, let me just go for this. Okay, so now like we are going to create a DAX function here, so let me just go for the sumx. Okay, like for first, like let me type this and let me explain what is this. Okay, so we have typed sumx here. So what is the kind of sumx here? So we will create an expression and we will create a data. Okay, so now we have like we can multiply the price and the quantity for each and every table, but you can't be able to see the total sales for all the product ID and for all the quantity. Okay, so you can able to just view for the particular product ID, but you can't able to view the total sales for that. Okay, so for that, after for this entire expression for a particular row, and then I need to sum all these for the total sales. Okay, okay, so now if we go for the sum x here, you can see the sum of table comma expression. At first, like for the sum x function, like we need to mention the table, like in which table like we are going to add a data for that. So this will be my sales table. So I'm just going to type sales here instead, like you can be able to see the sales table here. If you click on this and let me go for the expression again, like after clicking this comma, like you can see the expression is highlighted in blue. Okay, now we have to type our expression. Okay, so for this expression I'm just going to type price here. If you type price, you can see the price is a function here, but you can see the sales of price. Okay, in this, like in while we are using a DAX function, you can be able to see the table name first and then the column name. Okay, so like if you are going to confuse with something else, like you can see the f of x function here. So this is the function here. You can see this is a table here. Okay, so let me select this sales of price, and then now I'm going to multiply it with the quantity. Okay, so QUA, if you type QU, you can be able to see the sales quantity has been highlighted here as a table. Okay, so now I'm going to click this, and then let me just close the bracket, and now you can see like our DAX code has been completed. You can directly click on this tick button, and then now our measure has been created here, named total sales measure here. So let me just close this. Okay, okay, so now you can see this measure has been created under the sales table here. Okay, so I'm going to create another card visual for this, like the same which we have done for the custom column. Here I'm going to add a value of this measure. If I drag it here, you can see the value of 26 million here. So let me go for the format, call out value as none. Okay, and let me just click this measure. You can able to see the measure tools are available on the ribbon menu as the same which we have like a column tools, right? As like for the data type, and I'm going to add a currency value for this. So the format will be changed as currency, and the comma will be placed here. So now we have created like a custom column and the measure table for this. Okay, so you can see there is no difference between these custom column and the measure table. Like these two are same, like the values, like point values, or like even same for this. Okay, so let me add this measure value inside this table. Okay, so this will be our custom column, and this will be our measure column. Okay, so here you can see all the values are the same which we have done for the custom columns. Okay, so like our input will be different for these two, but our output will be definitely, it will be the same for this both. Okay, so yeah, so this is how we can able to create a measure table for this by using a DAX function. Okay, so I think I have explained this better. Like this will be the very hard part in this Power BI, because there will be like more than n number of DAX function which are available in this Power BI. So it is very hard to practice all those DAX function. So I'll try to put more videos on this DAX function so that it will be very easy for you to understand all these DAX functions. Okay. So now like you may have one more question, like yeah, you are saying like there are two ways to create a calculated column. Then we can directly go for this custom column, or we can directly go for the measure column. Then why don't we need to learn both of these? Okay, so like yeah, let me just explain you. Like there will be a big difference between the custom column and the measure table like we have created for this both, right? Okay, so when we go for the table view under the sales, like you can see the custom column which we have created for the total sales has been like added in this table view itself. Okay, so this will be the one drawback for the custom column. Like if we are going to create any custom column, like those columns will be added on the table view and on the model view itself, like the same. Okay, you can see the total sales here, right? Okay, so this will be added on both the table view and the model view. Okay, so like this is not a major problem for us because this will be the very small data. But if you are going to add a visualization for more than, like I said before, if you are going to add a relationship for more than 30 to 40 columns, like it will be very confusing if you have a total table, total sales column here. Okay, so this will be the one drawback for this custom column. Okay, so let me go on for the measure table. So I think this measure table is better than the custom column because we have created a measure table here. So this is just a function. We can't able to see the measure table in this visualization because it is just a function, as you can see here. This is a formula, DAX formula, right? We have created this entire column based on this formula. Okay, so the column will not be created on the table view. Okay, but it can be viewed on the model view. Like you can see here, total sales measure has been viewed here, but like this will be the simplest way for creating a calculated column. Okay, so okay, like you may have one more question. Okay, so if like I have said, like this measure table can't be viewed on the table view, and this is the best way for creating any kind of DAX function. So then what's the purpose of knowing this custom column? Okay, okay, like this question, like like everyone will have this kind of question, like what is the purpose of learning this custom column? But we can't do like we can't do any kind of how can I explain? Like I don't have any kind of example for this. Like we can't be able to create tables, like we can't be able to create all the tables based on the measure. Like this measure as we can able to create some kind of how can I say, like we can't be able to create a columns based on measure. We can't be able to create all the columns. Like it may have some drawbacks for that, so we can't be able to write all those DAX condition for creating a particular column. But when we go for the custom column, every column like which we are going to create on this report or on the table view, we can create for all the tables or all the datas. We can able to create a custom column. But in the measures, like we are limited to create some columns. Okay, so we can't be able to create all the columns based on this measure. So that's the purpose of learning this custom column, because this will be like very helpful like while you are doing any kind of big advanced data visualization. Okay, so I think like you guys can able to understood what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you guys can practice both this custom column and the measure table. Okay, and like you can go and draw, like you can go and write your own expression, DAX expression, and then like you guys can able to understand about the DAX function clearly. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. Like we have seen about the model view relationship, and we can see like how we can create a calculated column based on the custom column and based on the measure. Okay, and we have seen how this relationship is going to affect the data, and we have seen like like how the data modeling is why this data modeling is very important for our data. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Like we will see in next video about this visualization and some more tools for the DAX function. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. So if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Like I will upload videos based on the Power BI and Creo on a daily basis. So don't forget to like this video. Okay, so thank you, guys. We will see you next video. Until then, bye.